Good evening. My name is Caroline Samuel. I'm going to be talking about my community project. So, the community plan. So, a community health is to protect the well-being of the community members. So, and this community project was done at Madison East Community. My community is in Madison City is the Madison town in the city of Madison in Dane County, Wisconsin. So the purpose of this paper is to present some of the strengths, assets, and challenges that local institutions in the Madison City community contribute to resources, contribute as resources to the community health. So the aim of this paper is to assess my community, all the challenges and assets they've got, and then put them into to generate nursing diagnosis and also put forward a plan of action. So by assessing this, I will know all the things that my community need. Then I can set a plan to make sure they achieve what they want. So what is a community? A community, according to the Herzen, my lecture from Herzen, it says that a community is a group of people who share similarities in the interest, thus depending on one another for social, material, and emotional support. So the Madison town is a small city located in Dane County, and it has several things surrounding it. The population is about 6,236, and in the city, that's the town, is 6,236, while in the city of Madison the population is about 269,196 according to the US Census Bureau 2019. So the Madison town is the city of Madison, which has a population estimate of 26,196. So the Madison community consists of different people from different ethnicity. We have people from Asia, African Americans, and Spanish. So this ethnic group, even the American Indians, so many ethnic groups are located in Madison here. According to my windshield survey, the Madison city is surrounded by 4 lakes: Lake Mendota, Lake Manona, Lake Wabesa, and Lake Kegonsa. The community has good roads with sidewalks, bikes, and bus lanes that give people access to free movement around the business to their businesses. Different hospitals, schools. There are several schools. The UW Madison is here. We have grocery stores too. So many grocery stores around, like Woodman's, Walmart, and we have community neighborhoods and restaurants like the McDonald's, Culver's, Noodles and Company, Olive Garden, the Johnny's, so many of them. And so we have so many services: welfare services, the WIC, River Food Pantry, Dane County Human Services. They help to supply services to low-income people. So these are just a welfare to help the people who are in need. Then talking about the community assessment data generated, um, according to my assessment, I have that the Mean age of community members in this place is 31.2, with males having mean age of 30.8 and females at 31.6. The males are more likely to get married at age 65, while females marry is more likely at age 35 to 44, according to the Madison, Wisconsin population 2022. So, and according to research by Dane County, Wisconsin Community Health Needs Assessment 2021, the prevalence of obesity is one of the determinants of health outcomes in the city of Madison. So we have the data here. One of the data you can see, we have data showing racial composition of the city of Madison. So it has Asian, Black or African American, the whites, Chinese, Hispanics, Japanese, Mexicans. So all this make up the people in Madison. So you can also see the poverty race, the poverty by race in this place. We have the whites. From the data here, you can see that the largest in population is the whites. And when you compare the population and the poverty level, you find out that even though the whites are larger in population, but in poverty rate comparison, you find out that like you'll be talking about the minorities, the Black, the Native Americans. So those are their poverty level is higher. Although this diagram will seem as if they are low, but when you compare to the population and the poverty level, you find out that it is greater in this population. Then we are still talking about the data. From here, you can find out that my community assessment data generation from the Dane County, Wisconsin Health Assessment Needs 2021, they found out that the age-adjusted death rate due to heart disease in Madison is about 124.9, and the age-adjusted death rate due to stroke is 29.6. So you find out that here, from this data, you can see that heart disease is prevalent in this place, and heart disease is one of the leading causes of stroke. We are still talking about the community assessment data generation. So from this diagram, you can see that the health factors, the determinants of health here, we have the health factors to be like we have social and economic factors, we have clinical factors and health behaviors, physical environment. So by looking at these things, you find out that the health in behavior, so many people around this place they use tobacco use, diet and exercise, alcohol and drug use, and the social sexual activities. These are some of the health outcomes that comes from behavior. These are some of the health behaviors that are members of the community in this place generate, and these are the things that determine how healthy a community will be. Because when a community that engages in tobacco and like drug use and all this, these are the things that can lead to health outcome. So like these things that are dependent, they are the things that can cause some of the diseases in a community, like lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle, and eating habit. When someone doesn't eat right, like healthy food, healthy diets, due to the number of restaurants around this place. Like all the restaurants, you can easily walk, you have access to so many restaurants, you can easily trek to them. They are not far away from neighborhoods. So this makes people, and the number of schools in this place, like students, some of them they don't even have the time to stay and cook. They just go to restaurants and eat anything so that they can do whatever they can cope up with their studies, and not wasting time because they're always in a hurry. So most of these activities, is depending on the lifestyle of people. This can cause we don't mind our health, because the health is in um, not in good condition. Because even if you're eating all these things, you should be able to exercise. There are so many gyms and um, like parks around, but some people in some neighborhoods they complain of safety for them to go to the parks. So some of these things are the things that make people, you eat, you have to exercise and work out, so that you can burn some of the um, fat in the food or some of the calories you've eaten. So when you don't do all this enough activities to generate or lose some of this weight, that's when somebody becomes uh, you know is at a risk of one sickness or the other. Talking about my project for this community, and I decided to develop a project for the community, and the partners for this project are the project is going to be done at the East Madison Community Center. So, and my partner for this project is going to be the assistant director of the East Madison um, Community Center. Her name is Veronica Castillo, and I also have Marta Gallo as the um, pantry associate, that's the coordinator of the food pantry. This Madison East Community Center is just a place where people for the community, where so many people in the community they come around and they receive help. They have a food pantry, they have a garden, they do so many activities for kids and adults. They have a gym just to keep the community going. So this is the place I'll be doing the project, and the partner, like I've said, she is the assistant director. Her job is just to help. She will be helping me tell me what they need, well, what the members of the community need, and she will work with me. I will show her what I have for the community, and she will tell me whether it's okay to do it or not, because I have a teaching that I will be uh, educating the community on feeding, and how to um, about the disease, hypertension. So she will be going through them with me, making arrangements for the venue and everything that I'll be using, some of the resources. So, and some of the resources for this project will be the stethoscope, the sphygmomanometer, that's the screening machine for the blood pressure, tables, chairs, laptop, poster, pamphlets, and hand sanitizers. And as you can see in this picture, this is the project I did. I educated the community members as they come for the pantry, the food pantry. Once they finish getting their food, they come around, and I'm educating them about hypertension and how to check their blood pressure. And it was amazing because so many of them didn't realize how high their blood pressure was. Some people were taking medications, but they were still They didn't even know that even the medication, some of them were not working, because after the medication their blood pressure was still high. So some of them, this program alerted them to be able to contact their provider, like their doctors, to make sure that everything is going well with them. So it was a good project. But so the community plan and the diagnosis I have after my assessment of this community, I came up with a diagnosis, which is um, the diagnosis is the community is at risk for overweight among the minority groups in the East Madison community, related to sedentary behaviors like tobacco use, inadequate diet, lack of exercise, alcohol use, drug use, and sexual activities, as evidenced by numerous restaurants and fast food stores within walking distance in the community. The diagnosis is a concern to the East Madison community because, according to this resource, older age, like higher BMI and being non-Hispanic, are risk factors for hypertension. So hypertension is heart disease that causes stroke due to high blood pressure. And like I said, this community is at risk for overweight, and some of the causes of overweight is what also can lead to hypertension, like inadequate diet. When you don't eat adequate diet, so you can this can get someone into being overweight, and being overweight can cause a heart disease for people, and one of the heart disease can be hypertension too. So that's why I educated them on hypertension. So my plan for this community is that I will educate the community members on hypertension and advantages of checking their blood pressure and eating healthy food, and also set some goals for them to, in order to guide them on the plans. And the first goal is that after the a presentation and the teaching, the community members in attendance will verbalize two benefits of blood pressure screening, and this will help me to understand that they understood the teaching that I generated, or the teaching that I gave to them. So if they are able to verbalize two benefits of blood pressure screening, that will help me understand that they understood me. And at the end of this education, I will be able to so that's a short-term goal for them. Then another goal I have for them is that all the members who participated will verbalize three diets that put one at risk for high blood pressure, like high salt intake, and some diets like fried food, canned food. So they should be able to verbalize some diets that put them at risk for high blood pressure. And after 6 months of, the third goal is a long-term goal. So my goal for them is that after 6 months of this education, the Madison East community will record a decrease in rate of obesity and engage in community work. So in order for them to do this, I have said that they should be able to engage in a community work maybe 1 to 2 times per week for 6 months, and this will help to lower age-adjusted hospitalization due to hypertension. If they can be able to, if they can work out 1 to 2 times per week, walking can help you live healthy. Even just parking your car in a far place and walking down for some time, that will help you adjust your weight, and also help you to lose some weight, and help your blood flow better. And what intervention do I have for this community? Due to the fact that the community is at risk for overweight, I have some interventions that can be implemented to help them. So to address the diagnosis of risk for overweight, I will be teaching about maintaining healthy diets and exercise. I will be using posters to educate them at the end. I will hand them pamphlets to take home for easy reference. I will also educate them on high blood pressure as one problem that unhealthy eating and being overweight can cause. So like you can see, I in the pictures, these were the projects that I did. I was able to teach them about high blood pressure. I was able to educate them on some diets. Even as they are at the pantry getting food, I was able to educate them on the kind of food. And although some of them did not have patience even to wait, all they wanted was just to check their blood pressure, make sure to know what the number is. They were not interested, that they don't have time like listening to the teaching. But I made sure that I let them know. Even giving them the pamphlet was very nice because they can go home with that one and look at it. So one of the intervention is teaching them about healthy diet, teaching them about exercise, and also letting them take their blood pressure screening free of charge. They were happy about that. So how do we evaluate to make sure that these plans and goals are being accomplished? So in order to evaluate these plans, I'm going to be using a teach back method. Like I said earlier, I will be teaching these people, and after teaching, I will let them verbalize by teaching me back, letting me know what they understood. They should be able to verbalize or demonstrate how to maintain a healthy weight and to prevent hypertension. This will be utilized to determine the success of the teaching. So goal one, after the evaluation, I was able to see that the short-term goal, the first short-term goal, was accomplished. It was met because the community members were able to participate in the teaching, and after that they were able to teach me back and tell me the two benefits of blood pressure screening. That the benefit is it helps you know where you stand and know your number and know when your number is increasing, so that you can contact your doctor. Because some of them are like, I was able to check somebody who had like 180 something out of like one, I can remember she was like 137 out of 103. And I asked if she was smoking and drinking. She was yes. And some of them were not even ready to tell you the truth, because some people will say, no, my blood pressure has never been this high before. But when you ask the person what they do, you find out that yes, they are smoking, they are drinking, and all these things. Some people, they just drank coffee and all that. These are the things that can put you at risk for high blood pressure. So they say their blood pressure has never been like that, but they didn't want to tell you the truth. Some people, they found out that their medication were not working. Some people found out, oh, I have not even taken my medication this morning. I didn't take my medication this morning, because of when they found out what their blood pressure was reading. So I was happy that he was able to teach them something, and they are able to know that they need to do, because maybe some of them thought that maybe their medication, they don't need the medication, but they don't know that their blood pressure is going high until it was checked. So the second short-term goal is that each participant will verbalize 3 kinds of diet that put people at risk for high blood pressure. I already mentioned some of them. So this goal was met because some of them were able to tell me the diet. But the long-term goal, this one is still ongoing, because it's a long term. It is ongoing, and The goal is that the Eastern community is yet to record a decrease in the rate of obesity in the community, but they are increasing the community work. So to be able to meet the goal, they have to increase the number of times they walk. Walking from before, they were walking like 1 to 2 times a day per week, 2 times per week for 6 months. But right now they have increased it to walking to 2 to 3 times per week for 6 months instead of 1 to 2, so that to make sure that this goal is accomplished after the 6 months. So the summary of my project and my assessment is that the goal of this East Madison Community Center is to protect the well-being of the members of the community. So for this purpose, a community health assessment was performed using the challenges, strengths, and assets resources of the community to come up with a diagnosis to be able to generate a plan of care that will help promote the health of the community. After careful analysis of the data gotten from the community resources, diagnosis revealed a community at risk for overweight among its minority groups related to sedentary behaviors like tobacco use, inadequate diet, lack of exercise, alcohol use, drug use, and sexual activities, as evidenced by numerous restaurants and fast food stores within the walking distance in the community. So this diagnosis becomes a concern to the community because being overweight is a product of food insecurity, which is due to poverty. Being overweight is a risk factor for hypertension, which can also lead to stroke. This is the reason why the plan of care for the community is geared towards education for hypertension, because preventing hypertension will also help control overweight and obesity. And this is the reason for my project. The project was conducted to teach the community and educate them on hypertension, because because the community is at risk for overweight, and overweight can also lead to hypertension, that's high blood pressure. So thank you very much for listening to me, and thank you so much. God bless you.